Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Politically Street. I'm your community ambassador, Mr. Robin J. Anderson. All right, I'll get my disclaimer first. All right, okay. Politically Street is not a political endorsement podcast. We're here for information purposes only. On Politically Street, interview business owners, community leaders, and elected officials. All right. So with that being said, after take two, me and Brother Vince, man, we're trying to figure out where we knew each other from. We know it's from our affiliation with the craft or whatnot, but we still don't know how we even crossed paths or what, So, but
brother, I still don't know. I think this was basically divinely set up for us to meet, and we, of course, we met on the square, but our work has expanded beyond just our current affiliation, man. But I'm glad we met.
Yeah, me too. Sir. So like I was saying before, what I like to do, I like to get a background of who and what you are, and then that way come full circle or whatnot. So, where are you from?
So I was born in San Antonio, Texas, and this is the part where you say you're not going to hold that against me.
Right.
So, I was born in San Antonio, Texas, November 20th, 1972. And my father, he was actually, he's been in my whole family is church folks.
Okay.
I'm a PK.
Okay.
And
preacher's kid. For those who don't know.
Yes. And my uncle, my mother's brother, was starting a church out here, and my father was asked to come out and be the assistant pastor of the church, and that was at the age of 10 when I actually arrived, 10, 12, that age, and I arrived here in Houston on the Nawfside.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
so
sir.
Nawfside, okay,
I've been here on the Nawfside all my life, outside of my time in the military, but I'm Northside raised.
What high school did you attend?
I graduated from Barbara Jordan High School.
Okay.
Yes,
Barbara Jordan is. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I ain't gonna hold that against you either.
What school?
I went to Aldine High School.
Aldine?
Yes.
I'm not going to hold that against you. But yeah. I mean, Northside, raised church I went to, Northside. My hood that I'm actually from is Parker Square, Jensen and Parker. Everybody knows Sack and Save and Fiesta. That's where I was raised at.
Gotcha.
And later I moved to Northwood Manor, from Northwood Manor to Northeast Little York and 45. So that's kind of all my area.
Okay. So after high school, where's Vincent at? What is he doing?
So after high school, it's been so long. I graduated in 1991.
All right.
So after high school, what did I do? I got a good. You know what? Let me back up. After high school, I went into the United States Navy first. Actually, I had a good job, so I went in the reserves because I still kind of wanted a military element. So I went to the United States Navy. You want me to continue on just a little bit? So after the Navy, I got discharged, came back to work. Got another good job, got tired of that, so I went back in the military. Then I joined the Marine Corps.
Gotcha.
And I'm sure you're going to kind of touch a little bit on that.
Yes.
Had a great career in the Marine Corps, served 2 combat tours in Iraq, and lived to tell it by the grace of God.
We that whole military aspect, man, is so. We don't get a lot of the stories. We just get the back end of veterans that come home and they're affected, and when they come back, come back to civilized life or whatnot, and then have issues adapting. If I'm not mistaken, right?
You're right. Yes,
and so what I've admired about you is that now you kind of reach back and then try to help them, the brothers and sisters that try to find their way back into the civilized world, man. So that's kind of why I brought you on too, to kind of help spread your message and whatnot, man. So, but you didn't talk about the music aspect of it.
I didn't know if you want me to cover.
We're gonna do all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a certain affinity for music. I love music, man. I really do.
Yes,
I just didn't get behind a microphone and try to share my gift with people or whatnot. But I'm
ain't
doing it another way.
Ain't too late. This game got room for you. What's even ironic about that? My government name, the name my parents gave me, is Leonardo Vince Bryant. I was named after Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
As we know, Leonardo da Vinci was an artist, Renaissance man, inventor. And what's so crazy about that, and I kind of talk a little bit about this on my film that's out, that I shared with Norma off camera. Kind of talk a little bit. I really didn't understand that name, and what's crazy about it, I never really liked that. I'm like, man, why y'all name me that? And sure enough, my mother sent me a letter when on my first tour in Iraq and said the reason we named you that, number one, we liked and respected the artistry of Leonardo da Vinci. Me and your father, we both liked that. I'm like, man, that's kind of common, uncommon, excuse me. And so we wanted to name our first child that, and it was some other stuff that went into why they named me that. But what's so odd about that is that I ended up being an artist.
Oh wow!
Not just in music, but in film and
all around.
All the way around. And one crazy part, she said in that letter, she said, right now, even in Iraq, you're painting your story.
Wow.
So, I even remarked on the film. I'm like, yeah, why you wait till I get to Iraq to tell me that? But it's just crazy. So yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. My name is Leonardo Vince Bryant, and it's a lot that comes with that, man. The music, the activism, even my time in the Navy and the Marine Corps, I was still active in the community.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was in reserve, so I can kind of move around. I kind of had the best of both worlds. I didn't go on active duty till later on in my military career. But
gotcha.
No, I had the best of both worlds. I was active. I'm sure you know some of the organizations I was involved with, but
no, you can mention them, man.
Okay, so I'm former, and when I say former, I'm still active, but not per se, going to the mosque every day. I'm a former lieutenant in the Nation of Islam.
Oh, okay.
Under the leadership of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Okay,
And,
I didn't know that.
Yes, and I'm still a follower of the teachings.
Are you practicing Ramadan right now?
Ramadan is just the last day. So
today's last day, right?
Today's
Yeah.
last day.
But we don't know if they're gonna see the moon or not. You know what I mean? And so
right. I got to make up. To be honest with you, I got to make up a few days for
yeah,
Ramadan.
right.
This go round. I ain't gonna sit up and like I just was.
Yeah.
But yeah. My background, the Nation of Islam. I come from the Pentecostal realm. I was raised as a Pentecostal. But right now, just for the sake of this discussion, I don't claim any religion at this time. I believe in spirituality. I can sit down with the Christians. I can sit down with the Muslims. I can sit down with the whoever. I can always find that common understanding.
Yes, sir. And
I don't believe at this point in any type of division. My goal and my mission now is to bring everyone together. I've dismissed labels.
Check.
But the training was good. The training I got in the church. I don't know if you want me to go that deep, but I'm a former preacher.
Okay.
Licensed preacher in the church before I even joined the Nation. So I kind of went full circle. I studied this, studied that, but I see that everybody has their route.
Check. That's right. I agree.
So this is why I can sit down with anyone. That doesn't mean I have to be in suit and bow tie to do it, or put a dot on my head. All these different customers people get involved in.
Yeah.
I want to be able to sit down and unite everyone on a universal level.
One of our backstories that I've learned with a word from Ms. Norma, backstories was, man, we Dick Gregory was in town.
Yes.
And I don't. It was the first time or second time. I forget when it was. You say, well, hey, brother, next time you come in, I'm gonna set up where you can meet him.
Yep.
So he came in this next time, and so I had pretty much forgot about it, to be honest with you. And so, but you called me, say, hey, bro, pull up. I was like, wait, what? Dick Gregory? I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
yes,
pull up, man. And we were sitting down at Turkey Leg Hut when it was on Washington Avenue. And he was sitting down and eating, man. And so I sat down. I wanted to ask him so much, man, but it's like,
I just watched your face. Let me just
I was
Cause it was like you was still getting like, man, I'm actually
Yeah.
this brother called me and I'm actually here.
Yes,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. So, but I wanted to ask him so much, man, because I was at the time I was considering running for city council.
Yeah.
I just want to get his input on some, what, because he won the presidency one time, and all of a sudden he didn't win. So I want to ask him about. I asked him the question, I asked him, but so I didn't. I just took the picture, shook his hand, and that was it. I didn't say nothing.
yeah.
You know. So,
That was a beautiful
so
time.
it
yeah.
was, man. And rest in peace, Dick Gregory,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You know,
Rest in
good
power.
brother, man. He really set the way, put a lot of information out there, and it's still out there to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
you know, so how do you kind of get these leads or this the responsibility,
Yeah.
what it is, to protect people like that.
Man, I my side deal, I do bodyguard work,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just one of those things. I got a call from brother Al Rucker, and shout out to brother Al Rucker. He always looked out for me. I think that came from because I was doing bodyguard work for him,
Mm-hmm.
and the story came out. He needed me at one of his businesses, and the whole time while I was working one of his businesses, I didn't know he was. He told me after the fact that he was watching me on camera, how I was moving, this and that. That's why you never know what's what. But so I ended up taking on overseeing his security, and then from that, when gigs would come in, I would be the lead person for these acts. So he brought Dick Gregory, Raheem Devon. I've secured him. Some
I like
of the-
Raheem, good artist.
Oh
man.
yeah. Al B. Sure. I mean the list goes on. T.K. Kirkland. I did security for a lot, but I have to give it back to Al Rucker. He put me in the mix, and along with the way I understand, he had talked to brother Derek, who I used to soldier with in the FOI.
Oh, Muhammad, Muhammad,
Derek Muhammad. Yeah,
I met him, I guess, accidentally on purpose at a coffee shop one day, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll circle back around to that.
Is it that coffee shop in Third Ward?
Not that one. I was over here on 34th and Mangum. It's
Okay.
a place over there. It's brand
Yeah,
new.
because he loves some coffee.
Yeah, he
and
told me
I
that.
love coffee too.
Yeah,
and,
well, we gotta talk.
Yeah. Another powerful brothers, and he and I actually lived in Parker Square around the same time. So
I heard he got a pretty interesting background as well. You know.
yeah, we both he doesn't say nothing, but I'm gonna say it. We both former Marines.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, his story is a little bit different than mine, but we are both former Marines. And you know what's crazy even about that? We came basically from the same side of town, basically the same hood, and we all rose at different points throughout the movement. I don't know if you know his brother Jesse Muhammad. He's like the media in my
I might just see his face.
The media guru for the NOI, but that's his brother, his younger brother. So yeah, shout out to brother Derek Muhammad and brother Jesse Muhammad for all the great work that they continue to do.
Yeah, we gotta get brother Derek on here
You
too.
got to, man.
Yeah.
Brother
I got his
has
book.
a great story, man.
Yeah, I got his book. When I saw him at the coffee shop, and I asked about the book, and he got his sign it for me and whatnot. So yeah, I want to support the brother, man. Good dude.
Yeah, I just love to see what the brother has evolved into. You know, even now, man, coming from the lifestyle he led. Everybody has a story.
Right, got a story. That's true.
So so to answer your question, yeah, that's how I got a lot of those gigs. And brother Al Rucker actually talked with brother Derek, and he kind of signed off on me as well. So that just led into the Dick Gregory experience, which it was myself and brother Nasir.
The guy, brother said the bean pies.
Yes, the Bean Pie King.
Man, them bean pies is true.
Look, the Bean Pie King. That's a whole nother podcast.
Right.
But that brother also, he was my Tai Chi instructor as well. So it's so much. But yeah, that's how I got that gig. And then after that with you, Dick Gregory came back again.
He did right before he passed, I think.
Yeah, and he called me to come down to his hotel, and man, we talked. I got so much stuff I ain't even put out yet. Things that he shared with me and brother Nasir, because we was with him
the whole time.
the whole time. And I was just surprised that he was coming in a different capacity, not with Al Rucker this time. He was someone else brought him out, and he called me. Matter of fact, I still have the last message he left on my voicemail that I may have to play one day for you. But he would always treat us like he was his son. He used to always, for some reason, he used to go into this world and talk to me like his son.
Wow.
He said, I want to show you this. I want to show you this. When I used to go to his hotel, me and Brother Nawfside, to pick him up, when I go inside the hotel room, he had newspapers scattered all over his bed. And I would ask him, I say, what is this? He said, no, I want you to be able to learn how to read everything and be able to decipher what's real and what's not. This is what he's telling me. We got recordings that I've never released of our discussions. And I tell you, man, I don't know if God was just kind of preparing us for that time, but this is Dick Gregory, man.
Dick Gregory, right?
Yes, I'm responsible for securing him. It's so many a story. I could tell you a story when we were late at night. He wanted to go to HEB on, what's that HEB on, is it Montrose in that area, 3rd Ward? What is that? I forget that.
I'm not sure.
I know it's close to Montrose. And,
okay.
And we went to the store, and as we in the HEB, people they kept looking at us, and one of the white guys stopped. He said, "Are you Dick Gregory?" He said, "Yes, I am, and I'm shopping right now."
That sounds about right.
I got footage of some of this stuff. We have to for another show we'll talk about it. But just the fact that I was blessed, and I kept my word with you because I knew you said, "Man, you." I think I was posting something on Facebook. That's how people knew I was with Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I want to never forget about this brother and keep my word. And word is bond.
Everything. Yes, sir.
We give our life before our word shall fail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm glad we mentioned. I mentioned Dick Gregory for a reason because of the movement or whatnot. And so a lot of us growing up around that early to mid 90s was like, I guess, Tupac, Eites or whatever you want to call us, you know what I mean? And so, but you're more ingrained in it than I was. I never met the brother. I mean, of course, I listened to his music and whatnot, so you kept.
Oh, you talking about Pac?
Yeah, Pac. Yeah.
I didn't meet Pac. The way I came in was through his disciples, the Outlaws. So I mean, in Texas, man, we love Pac. I think outside of the West Coast, we loved him more than anybody out in Texas. But my connection was through the remaining ones that are still alive, the Outlaws. That's how I came in, and then from there, I featured on their projects, and then we built a relationship, and until I took what I got from them, and I moved on and did some other things, but. It's always outlaw for life.
Yeah.
We outlaws before a group.
Check. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, shout out to Hussein Fatal, Young Noble, Iddy, and some of the brothers who are no longer with us.
Yeah, brothers, Big Sight.
Yes, sir, definitely Big Sight. Yafua, Yaki Gaddafi. I know I'm missing the name, but Napoleon. All those brothers who. Contributed to, what they contributed to the movement.
So, and speaking of the movement, I've been trying to figure out how to navigate this grassroots, keeping this movement alive of who and what we are as a culture, because I don't know how it shifted and how it got diluted, but something has to change. What are you experiencing out there, man, as far as because we already know we have to unify, but what is it that's keeping us, in your opinion, that's keeping us from being united?
Man, I'm glad we're having this conversation. And by the way, shout out to Castro. I didn't mention him.
I forgot about Castro, yeah.
I never, no matter what position I'm in, I never want to forget those who paved the way for me.
Check.
Even though I'm older than them guys, but I always...
Just me, out of respect, I get it.
Out of respect. To your question, man, am I able to just speak directly how I feel? And these are my opinion. Number one, we suffer, as the scriptures say, from lack of knowledge. And the other piece, and this is just me on the outside, Our people in a very bad shape right now,
I agree.
and we have become the buffoons
Mm. Mm.
of the world.
It's powerful.
As strong as we are,
Mm-hmm.
our ancestors have went through so much.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we still in this same position today? Ignorance and selling. I mean, it used to be a time where we can really just blame white folks, but you can't blame white folks for every single thing.
Right.
We know where the root of it comes from.
Right. Right.
But you killed your brother. What does that have to do with the white man? You chose to do that.
Mm.
So who is the devil now?
Mm. Good
And
point.
to your question, and I'm so glad you asked it because I was hoping we was going to be talking about some of this today. Our people who have are in position right now, they want to help,
Mm-hmm.
but our people won't get behind them.
Mm. Mm.
And then that's a catch-22 because some of our people that's in position, they didn't forgot about the hood.
Right. Right.
You finally made it. We voted for you.
Mm-hmm.
We put you in position.
Mm-hmm.
Now you turn into the devil.
Mm. And it's funny you mentioned that about voting because I'm running for state representative, District 139, as an independent candidate.
Yes, sir.
So right now, that independent movement is shifting itself because a lot of people are tired of Democrats. They're not going to Republicans. Okay, well, what other option do we have? Somebody has to be at that meeting in between. And so I think it's a good time to pick this side because to me, independent means I'm for the people. You know what I mean? And so, but it's interesting.
And congratulations on that as well. And that's another thing. We need more fresh blood. Fresh representation. Okay, you upset with the Democratic Party. You're upset with the Republican Party. Well, we live in this world. You got to vote for somebody. And this is another thing too that I wish our people would really stop saying, "Oh man, well I ain't gonna vote."
Even when you're not voting, you still voting.
That's what I'm saying. when you're not voting, you're actually doing more harm. Well, man, they're gonna put whoever they want to in the office. That's your mentality. You live in this world, you might as well vote.
Right.
So when we get brothers like yourself who are a grassroots, who are about the people, who has a history of helping the people, now what is your excuse? So when someone, let's just use this for example. When you hear the statement, they're going to do whatever they want to do, that lets me know you have not grown yet. Because that's how you think. When we got qualified, bona fide people who are already well equipped to do this work, and you won't get behind them. Going back to my point earlier, we perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
If you don't like the Democratic Party, if you don't like the Republican Party, do something versus just complaining. Do something and understand what your power is instead of being on the internet doing everything other than what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. So, man, I say the whole, because Cornel West is running as well as an independent, so I got a chance to get on one of his calls. They had a couple weeks ago for the Houston market or whatever. So just to see how this thing is panning out, man, is inspiring. It feels like another movement. You know what I mean?
Grassroots.
Grassroots, right, right.
Grassroots,
man, and to be in the same energy of a person like a Malcolm, Martin. They all started grassroots, and this thing happened. Right. You know what I mean? And so. I'm just praying we get the desired outcome.
Brother, I am too, because it's so much that we can accomplish unified. Let's stop talking about unity and just do it.
Do it. That's right. Yep.
We're not going to always agree 100% with what, but let's disagree in love.
I agree.
Let's at least come to the table and find what we can agree on. Everything else, let's work it out. And the other thing, we just got to be humble, man. In this game, we deal with a lot of egos, people ego tripping. And I talk a lot about the scripture because I know, I study everything, but I talk scripture because that's what our people understand. The scripture has taught us, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and He will exalt you in due time. Just do your part.
Just do your part. Wow.
Think about that. We looking for reasons to shoot each other down, and not just physically but mentally.
Yep.
When we have, like I said, yourself, man, I'm glad to hear it. I didn't know you were running for office.
I mean, I ain't doing it right there. If you ain't heard about it, I'm not
Man,
speaking it up.
I look, I knew it was something behind this.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it right. The wheels are turning, and we got to get behind you, brother, wherever we can, and understand our power. That's another thing. We've been beat down so much. Our mentality has been beat down so much to sometimes we don't even see a way out.
Yep.
And that's just not the case. We got a lot of powerful black women and men who are ready to stand up and do what is right.
And answer the call. You know, Malcolm said, "We're not outmanned, we're out-organized."
Bingo. And
that's it.
And
Period, point
and
blank.
that still is prevalent right now, unfortunately, in 2024.
You know. So we talk about the movement, you know, and doing things like that. But one of your things that you do that I applaud you on is, like I say, is getting those veterans, man, because those are still our brothers and sisters, man. We got to pull them in, and they you know, put their energies into what they need to do, you know, and coming back, man. So what are you doing? How can they find what you're doing, and how they can support you?
I'm kind of everywhere these days. My day job, I do work for the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Okay.
But I work in the homeless division, which that's the place I need to be. My job is peer counseling, peer to peer.
Okay.
You know, a veteran is more likely to listen to someone who has been through what they've been through versus talking to someone that they feel just got a college education and they're talking over their head. But in reality, we need both.
Check.
Let me get you right. You know, even in my department, we meet the people from the ground level, homeless, under the bridges. We got, matter of fact, the VA is located on OST, the main VA. A lot of people don't know this. Right down the street, going the opposite way, there are veterans who are living in those woods.
Wow.
When I go over there and talk to them, you know, they'll listen to me, but a lot of those guys are the left. I don't want to say leftovers, but they were leftover from the Vietnam era. And they were done so bad during that time, till they won't even give anybody else a chance. You mean to tell me the place that you can get help, all you got to do is walk out of the woods and walk in? No, man, I don't want to deal with them. And that comes from the fact of how bad that the Vietnam veterans were done.
Wow.
They were done that bad to where even in 2024, they don't trust the government. They'll listen to me because, you know, hey, man, you
got some skin in the game.
I got some skin in the game, but also it takes a little bit more work. I say, hey, man, I understand what you're talking about, but the VA is not like it was during that time. The VA has made a lot of great changes. And I want to say something about this, too. Sometime the media, they would go and trot out those type of veterans, and they'll put them in front to try to cast a bad spirit over the entire VA, and it's not the entire VA. Although in my opinion, there are people that work at the VA that I really believe shouldn't even be around veterans, but that's not the whole VA. The VA saved my life. When I came home, man, when I say came home, when I actually got out the military, I didn't even know about a VA, man. If it wasn't for the VA, I would have never known about mental health services. And that's another taboo in our community. We don't want to get help because we think somebody's going to talk about us. We so afraid. But if it wasn't for the VA, man, you wouldn't have, you know, a refined version of me sitting right here right now. Because combat really, really, I didn't think it was going to mess with me because, you know, in the military, we told to suck it up and get over it. But it really affected me when I tried to make a transition back into regular life. And then I'm from the Nawfside, so you already know we already traumatized before we even. And that's a lot of us. That's really black folks in general. Our PTSD started way back. Actually, it's ingrained in our DNA.
Check.
Post-traumatic slave disorder syndrome. You know, and so that on top of going through a war twice.
Wow.
One time is enough.
Right.
But twice, and then I got veterans who been in combat 4 and 5 times. So
I couldn't imagine, bro.
It's crazy, man, and did you get a chance to see my film? I sent it to Norm. I'll send it to
About
you.
well, I'm finna see because when we talked a couple years ago, when life was life, and you sent it to me. I think the one when you was, and I don't want to be graphic, but you was holding somebody's face had been shot off or whatnot.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, I did. I
Yes,
did.
sir.
Yeah, it's been a
Yes,
while
sir.
since I saw it though. Yeah, so
Yeah. Tell you, man. You know, people they watch these movies, but to actually be in the streets and dealing with this, man, I didn't. You know, I've done some things, man, that and been involved in some things that I never thought. Cause I was brought up in the church and in the mosque, and you know, having all that, and I'm now actually in a war. A lot of people don't know, man. You got people from all different backgrounds who are Marines and soldiers, and that have their own spirituality, and they have to now they dealing with it. You know, so watch it again when you get time. I sent it to Norma so she can watch it as well. But I got acquainted with death, man, in a whole nother level, man. You know, and I never thought. I don't want to talk about it now, but I never thought that I would do some of those things or either see or be involved. You know, even the one you just mentioned about, you know.
Yeah.
Man, I done seen some crazy stuff, but I don't know if we got time to talk about on this show.
No, I try to keep it under a certain amount of time because you know this new wave of minds,
you gotta get them quick.
Yeah, attention span is a little short, you know. So, but we're gonna stop at this point, but you gotta make me a promise to come back.
Oh, definitely, brother. Definitely, brother. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
So tell everybody at first how they can find you on social media. I know you say I think I overheard you saying that you've been off of Facebook and kicked you off or something.
Not this week.
Okay,
Not this
all right.
week. We were talking earlier. I get kicked off. That's another gang. You know they don't like the truth. But I can be reached on Facebook at Vince Bryant. You just type in Vince Bryant. I'm on Instagram under I'm Nawfside. That's under my alias. I'm Nawfside. Nawfside. Not Northside. Nawfside. And the same thing on TikTok. I'm Nawfside. And I think, on YouTube, I'm under my name, Vince Bryant.
Gotcha. All right, perfect, man. So, as well, like I said, my name is Robin J. Anderson. I'm running for Texas House State Representative, District 139. I would love your support. Definitely go support this brother here, man. He's doing a lot in the community. Like I say, I can't just say it was the craft that ingrained this into us to be part of the community. It just happened to be right in the heart.
In the
first,
heart,
you know
brother.
what I'm saying? So, but
And thank you, too, by all the work that you continue to do.
most definitely.
Yes, sir. See
yeah,
how we
most
caught
definitely.
that the same?
Same time, right?
Always in sync. Yes, sir.
Same time. But yeah, definitely go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel called Politically Street. Go to my website at www.voterobinanderson.com. Go to that donation button. Go to donation button. Check it out. Also, you can volunteer as well. All right, I'm also on Instagram at Politically Street as well as Facebook. All right, so until next time, I'll talk to y'all.
Peace.
Definitely want to give a shout out to Politically Street, man. That's one of the coldest names you can have. Because we out here in these streets, but these politics is trickling down, so it's all intertwined, man. So we got to figure out how to work with the way we work. So shout out to Politically Street.